Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good day to madam. My name is Nadia Nazrina binti Safrin with the matrix number of 2020922201. I will be the first presenter for Group 3 and our topic will be internal auditing in blockchain technology. This will be the content of our presentation for today. We'll be explaining of the introduction, roles of the internal auditor, factors that influence internal auditor effectiveness, challenges of internal auditor, benefit of involvement of internal auditor in the practice, impact of the internal auditor practices to the practices, and the conclusion. Without further ado, I'll be introducing our team members. First up will be me, Nadia Nazrina binti Safrin Okridal. Secondly will be Miss Nurul Ain Johan. And lastly will be Miss Nurbaiti binti Roslan. So what is blockchain? Blockchain is a decentralized and distributed digital ledger technology that enables multiple parties to record, validate, and store transactions in a secure and transparent manner. It was originally developed as underlying technology for the cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin, but its application have expanded to various industries beyond the finance. Blockchains are distributed digital ledgers of cryptographically signed transactions that are grouped into blocks. Each block is cryptographically linked to the previous one, making it very difficult or tampered evidence after validation and undergoing a consensus decision. As a new block are added from the previous one to the new one, older blocks become more difficult to modify. New blocks are replicated across the copies of the ledger within the network, and any conflicts are resolved automatically using the established rules that set by the management. Now I'll be explaining the roles of internal auditors in the blockchain technology. Firstly will be the risk management and risk mitigation. Next will be control procedures, and third will be governance. Firstly will be risk management and risk mitigation. An IA or internet auditor can evaluate the potential risks such as security vulnerabilities, privacy and concern regulatory compliance, and the impact of blockchain on existing system and the processes. An internal auditor should understand the inherent risks associated with smart contracts, such as programming errors, vulnerabilities in the underlying blockchain platform, or malicious codes. Next will be control procedures. Internal auditors can evaluate the control in the place of blockchain system and processes. They can assess the effectiveness of security measures, access controls, and data integrity mechanism implemented within the blockchain network. Internal auditors in the blockchain technology can implement several control procedures to enhance the security, reliability, and compliance. For an example, internal auditors can establish access control to ensure that only authorized individuals have appropriate amount of access rights to the blockchain system. This includes implementing users authentication mechanism, role-based access controls, and robust password management practices. Lastly will be governance. Blockchain implementation involves significant changes to existing system, processes, and governance structures. Internal auditor can assess the organization change management practices to ensure proper planning, communication, and training are in place. They can also review the governance framework, blockchain projects, including the decision-making processes, roles and responsibility, and the oversight mechanisms. Internal auditors should also consider compliance and regulatory requirements specifically to their industry or jurisdiction.
Hi, my name is Nurul Ain Johan. I will present for the next slide, which is the factors that influence internal audit effectiveness. Okay, the first one is internal audit independence. Auditors' independence and objectivity to the quality of IA even when the auditor is an employee of the organization. Independent means that they are no dangers to IA or his or her ability to complete the activities objectively. In other words, the internal auditor is self-sufficient when completing his or her duties, unaffected by familiar or economic consideration, which is personal interest. Okay, the second one is internal auditor capability. Internal auditor should possess the essential knowledge to detect and analyze risks of fraud, albeit that they may not be expected to possess the same dexterity and proficiency as those responsible for fraud detection. If the internal auditor lacks of the essential knowledge and the abilities to conduct all or a portion of their assurance services, the leader of the IA department should hire experts to compensate. Okay, the third one is the management support for internal audit. The management support is critical for the adoption and evaluation of IE efficiency within an organization. With management assistance, IEs can obtain additional resources to carry out their responsibility, and the IE department can recruit competent employees, train them, and ultimately increase their capabilities and job performance. And number four, the application of information technology in internal audits. The technology has advanced in a breakneck pace in this century. Through automated process, real-time data, and integrated IA, new IT system enable internal audit to offer management with more relevant information at a cheaper cost and with less delay. um, as a result, I think will undoubtedly have a significant impact on the effectiveness of IA. Okay, next, the size of internal audit department to carry out its responsibility appropriately. The internal audit department must be adequately resourced. The internal, the ISPPIA, which is the name. International standards for the professional practice of internal auditing, resources management requirements that an administrator must operate the IE to ensure that the resources supplying the IE are appropriate, adequate, that they are used efficiently. So the combination of internal auditor and external auditor. External auditors and independent auditors must have a positive professional relationship. Coordination and cooperation between the internal auditor and the internal auditor have a significant impact on the quality of the report's creation. Coordination and cooperation might take the shape of planning, exchanging information, opinions, and reports in order to avoid duplication of effort and promote successful audits. Then, lastly, is the audit committee. The audit committee is also considered a factor in defining the efficiency of internal audits. Arena and Azone 2009 demonstrate that the structural characteristics of IE can affect its performance in an investigation of 364 enterprises in Italy. Additionally, the results indicate that when the audit committee is active in the internal auditor's operation, the effectiveness of the internal auditors increases. Okay, next is the challenges of the internal auditors. Internal auditors will need to access information in new formats. Essentially, there will be a new technical environment where critical information is created and stored, and internal auditors must be able to access information contained in this environment. Internal auditors will also need to maximize the value of real-time information. The value of sampling will have to be re-evaluated when the use of data analytics on continuous information is technically feasible. Secondly, the internal auditors will sometimes need to work collaboratively across organizations. There are public blockchains such as Ethereum that application may be run on that have a pre-existing governance structures, but there are also private consortium blockchains that are only open to identified stakeholders. Each of these blockchains will have their own governance structure, one that may involve a number of stakeholders across multiple organizations. And internal auditors from these multiple stakeholders will need to work together to ensure all their requirements are met. Last but not least, the internal auditors will need to understand that some work being routinely performed today will become redundant. For example, with a shared ledger, there will no longer be any requirement to reconcile differences between system of record. Instead, there will be one version of the truth and all stakeholders will have to access to it.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurbaiti binti Roslan. My matric number 2020155911. Okay, I continue with the benefit of the involvement of internal audit in the practice of the blockchain. Okay, for the involvement of internal audit in the practice of the blockchain technology can bring several benefit to an organization. For the first benefit is enhanced governance and risk management, which is internal audit can provide an independent and objective assessment of the organization broad change implementation, ensuring that appropriate governance and risk management processes are in place. This is, they can evaluate the effectiveness of control and identify any vulnerabilities or weaknesses in the blockchain system and helping to mitigate risks. Okay, let's move for the next benefit is compliance and regulatory requirement. This benefit internal audit can assist in ensuring compliance with applicable laws, regulation, and industry standard related to blockchain technology. For this compliance and regulatory requirement benefit, they can assess the organization adherence to regulatory requirement, privacy concern, data protection, and cybersecurity measures to providing recommendation for improvement. For the third benefit is the system and process assurance. For the internal audit can evaluate the reliability and integrity of the blockchain system and associated process. For this benefit, they can assess the accuracy of transaction, data integrity, and the effectiveness of cryptography control. And this can help to build trust in the blockchain system and provide assurance to the stakeholder. Okay, let's move to the next benefit is fraud detection and prevention. Blockchain technology can help enhance transparency and traceability, making it harder for fraud to go undetected. Internal audit can leverage blockchain's inherent capability to identify any suspicious activity, anomalies, or potential fraud within the system. This benefit, they can also recommend preventive measures to mitigate fraud risk. And next is operational efficiency and effectiveness. Internal audit can evaluate the efficiency and effectiveness of the organization blockchain implementation. It also, they can identify areas for the process improvement, automation, and optimization, leading to the cost saving, increased productivity, and streamlined operation. Okay, now we go through to the impact of the internal audit practice to the practice of the blockchain. The impact can be significant. Here are some of the way in which internal audit practices can influence and shape the implementation and utilization of the blockchain technology. For the first impact is improved governance, which means internal audit practices bring a strong governance framework to the implementation of the blockchain technology. And then internal audit can help define role and responsibility, establish accountability mechanism, and to ensure adherence to regulatory requirement and industry standard, which mean they ensure that appropriate policy, procedure, and control are in place to govern the use of blockchain and related to the processes. Okay, second impact is enhanced risk management, which means internal auditor can identify and assess risks associated with blockchain technology and provide recommendation to mitigate those risks. And then through risk-based auditing, internal audit practice help organization identify vulnerabilities and implement necessary control to protect against potential threat. They also can evaluate the security control, encryption mechanism, and data privacy measure embedded within the blockchain system. Okay, for the next impact is compliance and regulatory alignment. Internal audit plays a crucial role in ensuring compliance with applicable laws, regulation, and industry standard in the context of the blockchain. And internal audit practice help organizations align their blockchain practices with the regulatory expectation and reduce the risk of the non-compliance. This impact, they can assess the organization compliance and with data protection and also privacy regulation, anti-money laundering laws, know your customer, which is KYC requirement, and other relevant regulation. Okay, the last impact is fraud detection and prevention. internal audit practice can leverage their expertise in fraud detection and prevention to identify and address potential vulnerabilities within the blockchain system. And internal audit practice contribute the maintaining the integrity and security of the blockchain system. This impact, they can analyze transaction pattern, monitor access control, and implement mechanism to detect and prevent fraudulent activity within the blockchain network. In conclusion, internal auditing in blockchain technology plays a crucial role in ensuring the integrity, transparency, and efficiency of blockchain-based system. It offers several benefits and opportunities for organizations implementing blockchain technology, including enhanced security, improved data accuracy, streamlined processes, and increased trust among stakeholders. And then for the overall, we can conclude internal auditing in blockchain technology is essential for organization to harness the full potential of this transformative technology to by ensuring security, accuracy, efficiency, trust, compliance, and continuous improvement. Internal auditors contribute to the successful implementation and operation of the blockchain system in various industries. Okay, that's all from our group. Thank you.